Hello everyone, and welcome to Art Chat. I'm Marge Lee, and today we're talking with painter Betsy Conrad. Welcome to Art Chat, Betsy.
Thank you very much, Marge. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I know you live in the estuary.
Yes.
But we're not in the estuary house right now. Where are we standing and why?
We are in the Sanibel Congregational Church on Sanibel, which is located on Periwinkle Way. And this is a solo exhibition of
Which is
my
a
art.
big deal.
Yes, it is.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It's the first solo exhibition I've ever had.
Well, how
But
exciting.
Yes, it
How
is very exciting. And I was asked to participate in this by the Sandcap Art League.
How nice.
Yes.
And it's been up since the 1st of August, correct?
1st of July, actually.
Oh, 1st of July,
yes,
okay.
It's up for 2 months
All
and
right.
goes through about the 30th of August.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, for those residents who are not able to come see it, we thought we would take the exhibition to them. So let's walk around today and talk a little bit about the work.
Good. I'd enjoy that.
Wonderful. Let's start with this really interesting painting over here.
All right.
Betsy, I love this work. It's so
Thank you.
colorful. Tell us what the inspiration was.
I love flowers. And I also love a very free style of painting. And so I just had it in my mind of the colors I wanted to use, the size I wanted to do this. The only drawing I did on here was the vase. And then I just put colors
on?
in. And there it is.
There it is. You know, it's interesting to me because at first it looks like a wonderful abstract, which it is, but when you step back a bit, then you do see the vase. You begin to see flowers and leaves and details of the flowers. Now, tell me about how one creates the white.
The white? All right. In this part right here, I had the paint, of course, in the background, and then I put salt on it.
Salt, regular table salt?
Regular table salt. And the salt absorbs the paint and makes these interesting little textures.
Isn't that fascinating?
Well, these are delphiniums, or at least my rendering of a delphinium, and I had a pot of these wonderful flowers on my front porch in Tucson when I lived there. And I've never painted them, and I had this in my mind when I conceived this painting. And this is another one that I did no drawing on it. I just put some colors down in the background, the lighter colors, and of course the blue of the delphinium. And then to make the leaves, I did the negative painting once again.
And what are these little splattery things?
These little splattery things is called spatter. You put paint on your paintbrush and just go like this.
Oh, how fun. So if you've had a bad day, you can just...
That's right.
So let's move on. You mentioned Tucson. I think this is a view.
Yes,
from
this is
Tucson.
a view from one of the parks in Tucson, and it was a favorite location. I took photographs of this. I do very little painting outdoors.
Okay.
And so my
So you're a studio
landscape
painter.
scenes, I'm a studio painter basically, and the landscapes are from photos that I took.
Well, I'm inspired by sunflowers. And I'm looking at this one and looking at this very interesting detail. Talk about that.
Well, I had painted the sunflowers in the background, and I thought the painting just needs a little something more. And there is a product called marbleizing spray. And this happens to be gold, and it comes in other colors. But I sprayed this on, and when you spray it, you've got to like what you get, because there's no changing it. It is what it is. Yeah.
Well, it gives a beautiful sheen to the whole,
Yes, yeah, it
the whole
does.
painting.
This is called a watercolor batik, and it is done on rice paper. And the rice paper has little gold flecks in it,
I see them. Little kind of threads.
Little threads of gold in it. And the white is done with wax. You put the wax down first. You design your painting and then put the wax down. And then when the wax is dry, then you put your colors in. Then when your painting is finished, you iron it in between
with a regular
sheets
iron.
with a regular iron in between sheets of newspaper,
Oh,
which the newspaper absorbs the wax.
How interesting.
And so then you are left with the white outline.
And called a batik.
Yes, it's called a batik.
Oh, I love that work. More landscapes.
Yes, the top one is from another park in Tucson called Sweetwater. And then the bottom one is from Yellowstone Park. We were there a number of years ago.
And speaking of detail, dreamy is a really interesting style that you're experimenting with.
Yes, I love to experiment with different styles and products and paper and all. And this is just very loose. I put paint down, the red paint, the orange paint, and then tried to think, well, what does it say to me? And so then I put the turquoise in the background and a few little added things and the ink around the flowers to define the flowers. I told you I love to experiment, and here I tore out pieces of paper and glued them down onto the watercolor paper before I even painted. And that's what gives it the background texture. And then when you put the paint on, the edges where the paper is absorb a little bit more of the paint, and that's what makes the different look back there and in the pears as well.
It's a very interesting style.
Thanks. But once again, of course, I love the bright colors and put paint watercolors down on the paper all over, and then negative painting around it to emphasize. And this one, once again, I was experimenting with a style of doing the background paint, and I did no drawing, once again, but had the idea to put the flower there and just paint the various colors. I used a lavender and a green and all in the background. This is salt, once again.
I'm fascinated by that.
I have played the piano for many years, and I wanted to incorporate some music in the background of a painting, and so I thought a perfect way to do it would be to use actual sheet music and glue that down on my watercolor paper. And then this brown piece of paper is a special paper called a mate paper that is made in Mexico, handmade in Mexico. And then I just painted this simple red flower. Song of the Red Flower.
Oh, well, the title is as lovely as the work and as lovely as the artist. The exhibition is up in the Sanibel Congregational United Church of Christ. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
And let's give a shout out to the church for supporting the work of artists. It will be on display through the end of August. So if you'd like to come see it in person, we suggest that you give a call first just to make sure that the room is not in use. Otherwise, the telephone number is on your screen, 239-472-0497. So if you can come out and see the exhibition, please do so. Give the church a call. And again, thank you for being with us on another Art Chat. And thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Marge.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.